How's it going? It's your brother here. I am doing a little warm-up video. I'm recording a bunch of videos for a course that I'm doing with Susie later on today. So I thought I'd at least follow up with you from our conversation we had while I'm also like checking my lighting and making sure this new studio we're using is going to work for us. So about your idea, which I think is a great idea for doing the virtual dog training and teaching a course and things like that. I think that's a great idea. Here is how I would do it with you guys, like what I think would be the best thing for us. I would go ahead and use Facebook as probably our primary driver of traffic. Oh, and by the way, this is a new software that I'm really enjoying. So I'm going to use this to kind of explain what I would like to do with you guys if you guys are up for it. Hold on a second. So in Facebook, what we would be doing is just probably putting up video content of you or mom, whoever it would be, kind of the marketing side of it, talking about little tips that you would teach inside the course. And what you would do then is offer them offer them to join into a free training where you go into more depth, because the YouTube videos might be a minute long to 5 minute long, kind of maximum, because you don't want to have too much long content on Facebook there, but you would drive them to a more in-depth class, which we would basically use a long video called a webinar in my industry. So if they give you their name and their email, we would send them to a webinar, and this would probably be a 30-minute to 40-minute video, depending on how, the more premium the product is, the longer you would need to actually sell. So you would teach them probably 3 or 4 tips in this webinar training, and then transition into pitching your course, your actual training course. What you'd also be able to do is once they opt in for the training, you could send them a series of emails where we could set up kind of a marketing message, which each one of these emails would kind of additionally give a bit more value to them. And so let's say over the course of 4 days, you send them 4 emails. And in every one of the emails, we try to get them back into watching this webinar. And like that, I'm going to kind of try to organize these a little bit. So every day, once they give you their email address, you would be able to continue to remarket to them. This is called email remarketing, and send them into your sales process. And then we basically send them directly into giving you some money, whether you charge $47, $400, all that is, up for discussion, and obviously doing some market research to see what works best. Potentially, we could also set up Facebook retargeting, which would be if we know, we can tell Facebook, we can basically set something up like this, where we can tell Facebook, anybody who opts in and is interested in our product, we can put them into a specific audience, a specific retargeting audience in Facebook. And then we can tell Facebook, okay, now send specific messages to people who, let's say, have given us their email in the last 5 days, or even could be like a couple weeks. And then let's send them back into the webinar directly in, because we know that they gave us our email address. We can kind of pass that data around and ultimately get them into, giving us the money, the good stuff. Once they give us money, we can obviously send them, we can send them a few welcome, thank you emails, and we would also give them access into a membership. So they can get into the membership from here or from here. And what this would essentially be is your course. So it would be a number of lessons and videos and modules. We can decide if it could be an 8-week training course, it could be a 12-week, or it can be take it at your own pace, and here you go, here's all the content all at once. And from there, they would go in, they could watch videos that are pre-recorded by you, and you could even put in little announcements like, hey, I'm going to go live for doing Q&A, and you could host it with either a Facebook group, which is very common, but it also requires you to be on social media quite a lot, or it could be like a Zoom call or some other little video conferencing software that we could do that with. So that's kind of what I would recommend. This is a very classic webinar, let's call it an evergreen webinar. What that means is you don't actually have to be doing this live. There are different ways of doing this. Like you could actually have this where you're streaming this live. Like if you were watching me right now, I would be streaming this live to you, where you can answer questions, you can engage with the attendees. I don't recommend that for you, not for you, really for anybody, because when you do that live process, it gets very difficult for you to continue to sell over time. You have these big pops of sales and then nothing. It makes sense if you're planning on being very hands-on with your clients, but I think you want something a bit more passive where you can answer some questions here and there and maybe have a steady stream of customers, a steady stream of income, and all that good stuff. And then, just to kind of fill out the process, because I'm really enjoying the software. You could also find people who have reached the payment page, but maybe have not reached, haven't completed their purchase. And you could then send traffic from Facebook specifically. And these would all be through paid ads, would be from here. And then you could basically kind of not force, but continue to motivate your customers through the process, eventually to getting to where you get the desired result here. As far as traffic, I would start with just organic, posting to your profile, posting to Mandarin Pet Care's Facebook page. That would be a great place to get started. What I like to do is I like to do live video when I'm doing this organic type of marketing for two reasons. One, when you do organic live video, Facebook helps you get more reach because they're really promoting their live video features, which is fantastic. What's also great is if you find that, let's say you do 5 of these, let's just put 5 of these out. If you are doing 5 of these videos, maybe you find out that you just stunk on these 2. Like these were just very bad, didn't do a whole lot, or maybe you stuttered a lot. It's okay, it happens. So you basically just forget about those guys and they're gone. But if these 3 videos were winners, what you can actually do then is continue to let them work for you by putting a little bit of ad spend budget into those videos. And so these can actually be evergreen builders of your audience base, of your traffic. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this to you since I'm getting a little too geeky. And so I'm going to go ahead and retitle this as MPC webinar ideas. And what's really cool is I can actually build out all these pages directly like this and everything would work. Wow, it's pretty fancy. All right, take care.